is Tuesday. I am stopping at the pharmacy and then I have to go to the post office. I've got 3 packages that are going out. One of them is a Facebook sale. Once again, I had somebody ask if I would ship something and I told her it was going to cost more, than I was asking. Plus she'd have to pay shipping, and it wasn't a lot more, but it has to be worth it for me, Anyway, so I'll make I think around $9 on that one. And then I had 2 on eBay. Anyway, the eBay sales, at this point, I don't know if it's just because my mind has been elsewhere. I don't really care about listing. I don't care about if I get any sales. I mean, it's nice to get some, and I'm still piddling around with it, but I have been so distracted by everything that's going on out in the world, and I have one person still, but even if I talk about something political and I don't say anything about the orange person, they still give me a thumbs down on my video. So I don't know who it is, but whatever. It's still engagement, Anyway, it looks cooler outside today than it actually is. It's like 75 degrees. So it's a little toasty, and I've got jeans on again. But I did wear sandals. So I've got slides on, and it's not horrible. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so we're in that time of the year where the Mother Nature isn't sure what she wants to do. Does she want it to be winter or spring or summer or, So, anyway, I'm trying to think what else has been going on. There's things that I want to say. Here we go again. I'll put a timer in and notes down below. Oh, the line's really long at the pharmacy. I'm going to see. I'll go to the post office first and then come back by, and hopefully it'll be slower. Hopefully it won't be worse. I did this last time too, and it was better when I came back. So I don't remember what time it was though when I did this the last time. I just finished watching. Okay, go away if you don't want to hear me talking about political stuff. I guess is the best thing for me to say. I may have some solds at the end of this video. So again, I will have timestamps down below. And really, did you not even see me? What the fuck? Okay. Somebody just turned right in front of me. Like I wasn't even there, coming toward them. And they had kids in the car. Oh man, these people, I'm telling you. And everybody on the Boone County Facebook page bitches about the driving, but it's like, you guys are out there too. So who are these crazy drivers that are completely ignoring all of the stop signs and all of the intersection lights and whatever? Anyway, I just finished watching, there's a YouTube channel, and some of you may have seen it before. It's called Soft White Underbelly. And I've been watching this channel for a couple of years now, off and on. I don't watch it every time there's a new video. It's just if it's something that piques my interest, And today, I noticed they had a new video. I think the guy that does the videos is Mark Laeda. I think that's his name. Anyway, he interviews people that, his video started out with, he was interviewing people that are like the ones that nobody sees, like homeless people and people who are drug addicts and stuff like that. There's a wider variety of people now that he talks to, but that's kind of how the channel started, I think. Anyway, there's a lot of traffic. School's out, so it's my fault I waited too long. And we had daylight savings time, so I think everybody's screwed up. Or the time changed the night before last. Okay. Oh, good, I can go. Yee-hoo. There's the nobody So, anyway, one of the Epstein survivors, one of the girls, he interviewed her. This is the first interview I've seen with one of them one-on-one. She was not involved with Epstein for a long time, but she had like I think it was one or two experiences with where she was taken there by another girl that she knew from school, I think, one of her classmates, and it messed her. She'd never been with a boy. I don't even know if she'd kissed a boy yet. And so anyway, this interview was insane, and I completely understand her frustration. And again, like everybody else, I don't understand why they're not arresting people. They have names, they have names of the people who were doing the bad things, and they're redacting everything, so we can't see most of the names or some of the names, but they know who the people are that were in contact with him. You would think that they would at least be calling people in for depositions and researching and investigating. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've got names of people they could be doing investigating, and no one's doing anything. And it's just unbelievable to me that after, the only reason he's in office is because he promised the files would be released. That's one of the main reasons, I'm sure. The other reason is because there's so many racists in this country that they wouldn't let a woman be elected in a million years. So, that's the other problem. But, it's just, I don't understand. I don't understand how these people can just be out there walking around, and other countries are doing something about it, but not us. And then Pam Bondi had the nerve to say something about, well, if we went after everybody that's named, it would destroy our government. Well, who fucking cares? Our government fucking sucks. They haven't been doing anything for the people, really, ever. Everything has been by design to fuck us over and keep us down and keep us trapped so that we can't. It's like working for a company that you hate the job, but you're stuck there. Do you know what I mean? They make you think that everything's good, but it's really not. And, there's so much crap in our history. I wish I knew, if you guys know some of the stuff that is in our history that most people, it's not out there. It's stuff that we're not taught in school, but it's stuff that happened. And there is one creator on YouTube. Her name's Bailey Sarian. She does something called Dark History. And I can't remember if it's once a month or once a week. I haven't seen a new episode in a while. I think she's taken a break. But she does something called Dark History. And she dives into all these different things from our history that most people may not know about, or they only know a little bit about it. Stuff that is just really messed up that has happened in our past as a country, and they just buried it, or they tried to bury it. Anyway. Okay, I'm at the post office. I have to go in. I may come back and yak at you guys some more. I don't know. There's so many things in my brain right now that are just, it's all over the place. I can't really form a normal sentence at this point, because there's so much. Oh, there's a little man that just got out of his car, and he's going to the post office, and he's walking slower than I do. But he looks like I'm going to be worse than him when I'm his age, if I make it that long. He looks like he's about 90. Oh, he parked. He's so crooked, his park. He can't park either. Oh, the front of his car is just, you should see this car. I wonder if I could turn this around and show you guys his car. He is running into things. I don't know if it's, he has run into some things with his car. I want to make sure I'm not on the road when he is, or I don't go the same way he does, because I don't want to come into contact with this man. I have to show you guys what he did. I'm going to stop this and show you before he leaves. Okay, So you can see how he parked. He's all cockeyed. And then look at the front end of his car. It is destroyed. Somebody just pulled in next to me on the door open. Anyway, yeah, I would get him when he comes out, but I don't want to sit here and wait because it's hot and sticky in the car. All right, that's it. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see the damage that was on the front of his car, but it's not good. I'll be back, maybe. Okay, I really wish I'd had my camera on and with me. Like I'd been wearing my neck one. That little guy, when I went to try and go into the post office, I'm waiting because he's coming out, and he couldn't get the door open. It was stuck just a little bit. Like if he had pulled it just a little bit harder, he would have been able to. It's just a pull door, you know. Anyway, so I had to open the door for him because it was stuck and he couldn't get it open. And then he's trying to give me a piece of candy. He's gone. And the other side of his front end was also destroyed. I was talking to this girl in the post office, and I was like, you should see this guy's car. Because they were all in there. I guess he was trying to give everybody in the post office candy. He's a really sweet little man, but he should not be driving. And what I just told her was absolutely true. I saw his car. Both sides of the front end are just, they look, the other side looks as bad as the first side, the driver's side that I showed you guys. So he should probably not be driving. Sweet little thing, but oh boy. I hope, I don't know, I think I have enough self-awareness that I hope I do, that I will realize when I should stop driving. Do you know what I mean? Okay, that guy just turned left where he wasn't supposed to, so I had to go. You guys couldn't see what I just had to do, but I was trying to make a left, and he cut in front of me and made a left where he wasn't supposed to. So I had to go around the ass end of him, and traffic was coming. Okay, now I'm gonna look like I'm riding a broom. Alright, cross my fingers, the pharmacy is not packed. Or at least not any worse than it was when I went by the first time. Well, that was interesting. Anyway, as I was saying, I hope that I'm aware enough to know when I should stop driving. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know I won't drive at night when it's raining. I just won't. Doesn't matter. I'm not going anywhere when it's raining. And it's dark. I don't even like driving in the rain during the day just because of how dumb everybody else is, but I can't see as good at night. The headlights coming toward me, they bother my eyes now, and they didn't used to when I was younger, so I think it's just an age thing. Anyway, the move here was interesting, but it was good I was in a U-Haul because I was up high enough that the only headlights that really bothered me were the truck drivers, and I was on a divided highway for a good portion of the trip, so I wasn't really faced with headlights directly in front of me very often. Anyway, yeah, all the Epstein stuff, and then he tried to pass it off as a Democrat hoax. You were talking about it before you even got into office. That's how you got elected, you know? And then I've got some friends that are kind of bummed that Tallarico was the nominee in Texas. And it's like, you guys, think about it. This country, we know now for sure how racist, or how many people are racist in this country. We see it all the time now. It was kind of hidden before. You didn't see it that much, but with who we have in office now, it's all over the place, and you can see it for your own, it's right in front of you all the time. And so that's the first thing. And the second thing is, there's no way that all the men in this country are ever going to vote for a woman. It's especially Texas. She would never get elected for anything other than just her little area that she won before. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, and it's unfortunate because she might be very good at her job. I don't live there. I don't know that much about the Texas people. Oh no, the line's worse. Oh crap. Oh my god. Oh good, and somebody else just pulled up. I don't even believe this. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I'm not even gonna deal with this right now. Nope, not doing it. I wish I knew I can't think if I need anything that I could, go run a couple errands or whatever, but I have somebody that might be picking up an item from Facebook later today, but I'm not sure. So, one or two people possibly. Some guy that lives up in Ohio, but he said he's going to be in Florence today, so this evening, so who knows if that's going to happen. But then there's this woman that wanted this serving. It's kind of an antique. It's a serving, I don't know what to call it. It looks like a tiny spatula, but it's all silver plated, and it's got the Delft stuff on the top on the handle. So the handle is ceramic, and it's got the Delft painting on it, and then it's from Holland, and it has an image in the silver part of the spatula, the flat part. It's like a pie server or something, but it's very tiny. Well, it's not super tiny, but it's small. Like, I don't know whose pie they were cutting up and using that for. I don't think anybody. I think it's just intended to be a decoration. Like, I would never use it. Anyway, I've had it forever, had it listed on eBay, and it was in this stuff that I was thinking about getting rid of, and so I went ahead and listed it. So we'll see. And then the other two, the things that guy might come and pick up, are two tiles. They're Southwestern, hand painted. They were made in Tucson, and they're Native American, and it's a Native American image on both the tiles. So it's kind of Southwestern. Anyway, I listed them for $10, and this guy, if he comes and gets them, and I had those listed on eBay for a really long time, and no one ever bought them. So we'll see. Anyway, I may have some solds, like I said, at the end of this. I'll have the timestamps, and I'll wait to do those until later this evening in case I have Facebook sales to add to it. So I will be back. Hello, Fat Grandma here. If you saw the beginning of this, I told you guys that I was probably going to do some solds at the end, and that's what this is. Again, and I told you guys at the beginning of the video, I'm not doing much where eBay is concerned. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I need to figure out a way, and I think I've said this before, at least once, maybe 5 times, figure out a way to find out what I need to know, the news or whatever, without getting sucked into this whole thing of being all consumed with it. Because I can't do anything about it, personally. I mean, I can be supportive to the people who are doing something about it, or trying to do something about it, but myself, personally, I cannot do anything about it. And so, and even in the support part of it, if there's, I don't even know. I can't go and march or any of that because of my body, because of my back and my hips. There's no marching. There's no standing. Do you know what I mean? It's, I'd have to sit on a chair somewhere, and that's not going to do anybody any good. I mean, I don't know. I see people, when they're protesting, there's a few older people sitting along the side of the road or whatever. But I also don't want to make myself a target. And while, knock on wood, I have not seen that happen here, you know, you hear stories about crazy people um, deciding to just drive up onto the sidewalk and take out a bunch of people. And, you know, I don't need that in my life. Nobody does. And we should not have to be afraid to go out and protest peacefully, you know, but that's where we live now. So, anyway, gonna get into my solds. I had a whopping 3 sales on eBay since the last time I did a solds video. This is how unengaged I've been with eBay. You know, I do send out offers if somebody's watching something, but again, I think I still have less than 50 items in my store. So, you know, I'm not getting a bunch of traffic, and I'm actually thinking about getting rid of my store altogether because I'm spending $6 a month, but it's not really worth it at this point, you know. I don't have enough items in there that I need to have a store. It's nice to have one because I could run a sale if I wanted to, but I'm not really doing that. And I think for the time being, and until I figure out what's going on, you know, in the world, and if it's even going to be worth it to keep selling things, I may just get rid of my store. So I won't have a landing spot. You know, the link will still take people to my stuff that I have listed. I just won't have a storefront with a header and, you know, so that it looks all nice or whatever. If things change and I find myself wanting to get more back into it and I have the brain power to deal with more than, you know, a few things at a time, then I might sign up for my store again. But right now I'm on a month to month and it's like 7 something a month and it's not worth it. You know, 7 or 8, I don't remember. Anyway, so that's what's going on with the eBay store. And keep in mind when I tell you about my Facebook Marketplace sales, the prices that I sold things for are lower than what I wanted, are lower than I thought the item would sell for when I picked it up initially, if that makes any sense. The first 3 items that I sold, I'll go through my eBay first and then I'll get into the Facebook Marketplace. And again, this is from February 24th through March 11th. So, and I may have a sale tomorrow, but that'll be on the next video if I even continue to talk about solds, because it's not, even the Facebook stuff has slowed down quite a bit. I think people are just nervous right now, you know. I think they're nervous. They don't know what's going to happen, and so, you know. Anyway, and you're seeing for yourself right now how hard it is for me to stay focused on something other than what's going on. You know, it's just so frustrating. I wish that my brain, that I just had an off switch for certain things and that I could just ignore and just go about my life, and I don't know. Anyway, back to the video and the reason that I'm recording right now. And I'm sorry about the lighting. Again, I can't, it's nighttime. It's like 2:30 in the morning. I took a nap, and this is when I'm better. I just am better at night. It's, you know, I don't know if it's because it's quiet. I don't know. I've always been a night person, and if you've been around, you know that. I'm much more functional at night. When I was in college, any papers that I wrote at night, which were most of them, I did very well on. If I had to write something in class, you know, spur of the moment, and it was during the middle of the day, forget it. I mean, I'd still do okay. I'd pass, you know, but I got A+ papers if I wrote them at night, you know. I don't know, my brain just works better at night, so. Not right now with everything else that's going on, but it used to work better at night. It's just more awake at night. Anyway, the first item that I sold on eBay, finally, was 2 hand-carved vintage rosewood miniature horses with glass eyes, and those sold for $9.96, and the buyer paid $5.92 in shipping. They were little bitty things, and went in a little bitty box. That's about as low as the shipping gets these days, you know, right around $6. The next item I sold on eBay was an antique Victorian etched footed sugar bowl or tea caddy. Trying to remember what. Oh, I know what it looked. It needed to be polished in a big way. Anyway, that sold for $12.80, and shipping paid was $6.51. The last item I sold on eBay was a vintage solid brass rocking horse figurine. It was about 5 inches by 8 inches. I picked this up recently. You guys probably saw it in the video. If you watched, any of my previous videos. Sold for $12 and the buyer paid $6.83 in shipping, and it really needed to be cleaned up. So that was it for my eBay sales. My total sales were $34.76. Shipping the buyers paid was $19.26, and I paid an actual cost of $19.02 for the shipping when I sent things out. I use pirate ship, so sometimes it's a little bit cheaper than what eBay says it's going to be. Um, my selling cost on eBay, and I just wanted to share this with you guys because there's only 3 items. I could really get a look and see how much they're charging me, how much eBay is charging me. My sale price total for the 3 items was $34.76, and that's just for the items. It doesn't include the shipping. My selling cost that eBay charged me was $9.02. $34.76 in sales, $9.02 in eBay fees. It's like a quarter of, it's almost 25%. That I'm paying eBay. So, again, it's not worth it unless you're selling stuff that's more expensive, but then they get even more money. So I don't know. If I could make more money and do higher dollar sales on Facebook Marketplace, I would concentrate on that more. But people buying locally, they're looking for bargains, and that's what I'm using Facebook for. I'm using Facebook to clear out stuff that is not selling in my eBay store. So it's kind of my clearance store, my Facebook Marketplace store, or the listings. They don't really have it, so you can set up a store. But anyway, so the profit from eBay, after cost of goods and, well, no, I didn't even figure the cost of goods. My cost of goods was probably $5, and so my profit was around $20 on eBay for those 3 items because of all the fees and everything else. So whatever. Anyway, so that was 3 on eBay, and then I sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 items on Facebook Marketplace. The first was a batch of Easter items, and I'm going to put photos up here and I will scroll through them. It was 3 different items that I put into a lot for Easter. And I had these separate items listed in my eBay store for a long time. I put them on Facebook Marketplace separately for quite a while, and I had marked them down to, I think, $5 each or $3 each, and I still wasn't getting any bites. So I put everything together and listed it for $10, and I sold them. So the Easter lot was sold for $10. I sold a brass apple-shaped trinket dish for $5. It was really thick. It was an unusual brass item. I've never picked one up that it had kind of a texture to the finish of the brass. It was different. Anyway, that sold for $5. Again, these are all things that I've had listed on eBay, and nothing happened with them. So the next item I sold was a Navajo pottery vase, and that sold for $5. The next item I sold were 2 Earth Tones End of the Trail trivets or tiles. They were hand painted. They were made in Tucson. I mentioned them in the Ride With Me part of this video, and I had them listed for $10. The guy said he was coming. He was kind of flaky. And when I went out to collect the money, because I leave my items outside and then they leave the money for me, when I went out to collect the money, he only left me $8, and $3 of it was in quarters. So I was kind of pissed off. I mean, it was only $2, and had he asked, hey, can you give me a deal and can I get them for $8, I probably would have said yes. But the fact that he only left 8 after he knew the price was 10, and then part of it was in quarters. What am I going to do with quarters? I don't use, if I had to go to the laundry room or, pay it for a washer and dryer at a laundromat, that, then yeah. But I don't even spend quarters when I don't know. I know it's still money, and I should be grateful that someone bought them and blah 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 all the things, but it's like really quarters. Why did you even drive here and pick these up? I don't understand. Anyway, and he shortchanged me, you know, and he didn't even leave a note, and he knew he was going to do that. Do you know what I mean? He knew he was going to shortchange me, and he could have written a little note. I'm sorry, this is all I could afford. I would have been more understanding had he done that, but he was just an ass. And the thing is, I can't really leave him a negative feedback because he knows where I live. So, I don't need that. So, that's the only bad thing about selling on Facebook Marketplace and doing porch pickups, is that the people then know where you live. So, if they decide to be a dick and, screw you on a deal, you really can't say anything or do anything about it. And again, I do not meet people face to face. I have a handful of times, but I stopped doing that. And I just figure, if someone screws me or if they don't leave me any money for the item and they just take it, I didn't want to come face to face with them anyway, probably. Do you know what I mean? Um, so, I tell the person ahead of time the item is going to be in a bag this color, and it's whatever color Walmart bag or Kroger bag I'm using. I'll have it tied shut. It'll be out in front of my garage next to the trash can. And so it just looks like it's garbage sitting out there, basically. And then after they take the item, I have a specific place where they can put the money so that it's not even visible to anybody. Even if somebody walked up to the house, they wouldn't see it. Um, and so that's how I do the Facebook Marketplace sales. And I have them text me after they've picked up. And then I wait about 10 or 15 minutes before I go out to get the money. This is the first time that somebody has screwed me and not paid the full price. So I guess, it was bound to happen. And of course, it was a guy. And see, that's the other thing that has happened with me. I have found more often than not, the guys fall through on the sales when they say they're going to show up, they don't, or they don't get back in touch with me, or whatever. They just fall face the earth. It's like when you're dating and you get ghosted. It's like that. Um, Whereas the women, for the most part, and I'm contacted more by women, so of course more women are going to be flaky, but per capita, for the number of men that contact me and actually follow through versus the women that contact me and follow through, the women are much better customers. They're much more communicative, and that's just kind of the way they are in life. Men, they don't communicate, and it's kind of like that unless they're an older guy. I've had a couple of older guys who were very good at communicating. They showed up when they said they were going to. That they were just they paid attention, and they've probably learned how to do that because they've been married forever, and their wife has drilled it into their head. I'm guessing. Um, anyway, so that's it as far as the my bitching about that sale. The next item that I sold was an Easter egg light. It was really cute. I cannot remember where I got it. I don't even know. I don't remember where I picked it up. I think I paid $2 or $3 for it. Anyway, it sold for $8. Finally, I had it listed on eBay forever and nothing ever happened with it. So, and at least I got 8 out of it. So I made a little bit of money. The next item I sold was a Greek vase. This thing was really pretty. And I thought for sure it would sell for maybe 15. Nope, I had it on eBay, nothing, 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 and it got a lot of views when I had it on Facebook, but I think most of the people were not in my area. Anyway, I ended up finally selling for $8. So, and I have no idea what I paid for it. Probably $2 I think it was an estate sale that I picked that up at. The next item I sold was a lot of 13 WWE figurines. There were 3 that were like, I don't know, maybe 6 inches tall. And then the rest of them, the 10 were little bitty ones. They were called minis. Um, and there were duplicates of them. They were nothing. Somebody, I got all of these items from that person that I went to their house, and in their basement they had a bunch of stuff because their ex-roommate had an eBay store. So I've had them sitting. I didn't even want to bother with them because I don't know anything. I don't like selling toys. It's just not my thing, you know. Anyway, I sold them for, I had quite a few, and it was a guy, but this guy showed up. So, you know, and he was very adamant about it. Anyway, it was $10. I made $10 on those. So, you know, and I think I've sold enough from that pickup because I didn't spend a ton of money there. Pretty sure I'm in the profit now. So, you know, $10 is $10. The last item that I sold on Facebook was a Mouse Tails Little Miss Muffet, and this is one that the buyer contacted me and asked me if I would consider shipping. And they live in Ohio. So I said, okay, but it's going to cost a little bit more. And because I think I had it listed for $5. And I can't remember for sure, but I think I had it listed for 5. Anyway, I told her that it would cost her more, you know, for me to ship the thing. So she paid 15, and then I paid 5.64 in shipping. So I made $9.36 on that item. And that's another one that I had on in my eBay store for a long time. It came from Arizona with me. It was small. It was one of those things that I could fit in a box in between a bunch of other stuff, and it didn't take up any room really, you know. So that was the reason that it traveled from Arizona here. There were some things that I just really kind of was attached to that I would sell, you know, when I got here, but I brought them with me rather than dumping them at the flea market, you know, because I would have probably gotten 50 cents for her at the flea market, and she didn't really take up any room on the way here. So so cute. I mean, these figurines, and I had a few of them, all of them but the Miss Muffet sold on eBay. So anyway, my total for my Facebook sales was 63.36, and my cost of goods for all of that stuff was probably, I don't know, maybe $15. Just looking at everything, I'm gonna say maybe $15. So, you know, around 48-ish profit, and then 25 on eBay for, I guess it's been a couple weeks. Actually more than 2 weeks. It's been about, it's probably close to 3 weeks. I don't even know when the 24th of February was. February's short though. So anyway, that's it for my solds. Um, you know, nothing to scream about. They were okay. I mean, for the amount of work that I'm actually putting in, these are great because I'm not doing much. I look at my Facebook listings more than I look at my eBay listings these days, just because, you know, eBay's charging me so much it's almost not worth it to sell on eBay, because by the time I pay all the fees and buy the boxes and the bubble wrap and everything else, and this is why I've gone to items that will sell for over $10, you know, or that I hope to sell for at least 10. And you know, because otherwise it just, by the time you've paid for all the stuff, it's not worth it, you know. And I don't have a source where I can get free boxes or packing materials, you know what I mean? So there's no college close to here where I can get boxes and things. Plus they would be bigger boxes, they would be shipping, or you know what, I don't know. Anyway, I will probably have a video shortly. I'm going to go back out and dig around in the boxes in the garage some more. I'm going to consolidate some of the stuff that's our inventory that's already out there and put it, you know, because I've got like 2 or 3 items in a couple of boxes. So I'm going to consolidate everything, figure out what I want to put on Facebook, and you know, to just get rid of it. And I think I'm going to have a lot less inventory moving forward, just because it'll be easier to handle. And you know, again, I'm going to say I'm going to be pickier. I need to stop and make myself not buy things that I know I'm not going to be able to sell on eBay for more than $10. And the last time I went to that guy's house, if you guys saw the video, I picked up some things that are definitely not going to sell on eBay. They're not going to sell for more than $10. It was just, you know, your brain gets dumb sometimes, and you see things and you think, oh, that's cute, or oh, that's interesting, or whatever, and then here I am. trying to get rid of stuff that nobody wants because, I don't know, I thought it was cute or whatever. So anyway, that is it for my solds. What is today? I think we're on Wednesday now. Oh, it's Thursday already. Holy cow. And I recorded that video, I think on Tuesday. So I don't know where the time, that's the other thing. My time has been all wonky. Like, just days go by and I'm all of a sudden it's Friday and I'm like, what happened to this week? And it's because my brain is thinking about all the stuff that's going on out there in the world and I can't do anything about it. So I need to quit worrying about it, but I can't because it's happening. So, so frustrating. That is it for now. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. I hope you have a lovely weekend. I have no idea what's in store for us. I don't know if it's going to be weathering or not, but hopefully I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.